Anyway, all right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. I want to keep this train in short. I want to keep it to about 30 minutes. We'll just jump right in. I'm just going to ask a couple questions. On here, we've got John Richards, my partner in crime. How you doing, John? Looks like you're in your car. Good stuff. Are you up in the, where are you at? Are you at like up in the mountains somewhere this?
I'm heading up to the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'm in Charlottesville right now. Just got done watching a flag football game and heading to a place called Humpback Rock.
Nice, nice. Well, glad that you could take some time to join us. We got Paul. Paul, where are you at? Are you down in Phoenix or are you up at the are you up north this weekend?
I'm in Phoenix this weekend, but heading up north next weekend for one last round of golf before it starts snowing.
All right. Well, hopefully it doesn't rain on you like it did last weekend.
Yes, amen.
All right, and we got my lovely bride as always, Amy. Hey, how you doing? Let's just jump right in. So, I want to get right to the meat and potatoes so that we grab everybody's attention and stuff like that. I think the big question on everybody's mind is like, what is merchant services, and like, what is this? Like, when I hear about side hustles, I hear about affiliate marketing and big ticket sales and travel agencies and all of this stuff. But like, what is, and I'm going to direct this question to you, Paul, because you've been doing this for 41 years. So what is merchant services as a side hustle, and how come nobody's ever heard of it?
Well, that's a really good question, Roger. Boy, I've been in it so long. It's amazing how it's actually grown a lot since I first got in. I mean, back in the day, there might be one or two sales offices per state. I mean, it wasn't really that big of an industry. And then it's never really been a well-known industry because you don't take a class in college for merchant services. You
Right.
know, you just assume that, when you open up a business, if you want to get credit cards, you go to your bank. So I don't think people really realize that it's a career and an opportunity. So it's always nice when we get a customer that is with their bank because the bank's more concerned about boat loans and home loans and checking accounts than their own merchant services. And I always say, hey, listen, if it's 5:01 on a Friday and your machine breaks down, you think your local banker is going to pick up the phone and help you? Not a chance. So, this is all we do. We focus on merchant services. We're not worried about, the stock market or, what the interest rates for the checking accounts are. I mean, all as we do is merchant services. So I think I answered that question in a roundabout way, but I think that's why it's really not well known. I luckily fell into it now going on 41 years ago, and it's been the best career choice I've ever made. The only career choice I've ever made.
Yeah. No, that's great. Thanks, Paul. So, John, why would somebody choose to get involved in this? Especially what we're talking about as a referral partner, not as a full-blown agent, but just as a referral partner. What does that mean, and why would somebody want to get involved in this industry as a referral partner?
Well, people that are looking for referral partner opportunities are usually looking for something that they can refer somebody to a product or a service, get paid for it without any real follow-up or service work on their part. Um, Many times that involves some type of product, some type of one-time sale. Somebody buys some mascara for 20 bucks, I get $5, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas in this industry, the way it has evolved is this is more of an ongoing residual play. So it's what people in the referral marketing and in entrepreneurship get involved with is, passive income. So the opportunity here is when you connect that referral to us, once that revenue starts, it comes every month. And all you've done is thrown that lead over the fence to us. No service work. You just get connected and you got what's called mailbox money. Just keeps coming.
That's super. Yeah. So I mean, it almost sounds a little bit like affiliate marketing, right? But like when I think of affiliate marketing, my experience with it is like, okay, so I've got a product. Now I got to go out and I got to find it. I got to find an audience, and I've got to, create this giant social network of, people that my own audience that I can start pushing the mascara like you talked to. How is this different than that in affiliate sales and having to, create an online community or create an audience? How's this different than that?
Well, what happens is when we get a client, so somebody refers us in, that initial sale, the referring partner doesn't make any money off of that. They make money off of every single time that client sells something,
Mm,
whether it's a service, a product, whatever. Look at it this way. If you refer us to your nail salon, every single person that is a client of that nail salon, you make money off of.
mm.
Every single swipe, every single time a card is used, you make money.
Love it. So how yeah, so that yeah, that makes total sense. So how do referral partners, where do they, because we get a lot of people that come into this and they're like, I don't know the first thing about credit card processing, and like, I mean, how do I sell this? What do we say to those people that are coming on referral partners that are like, how do I sell this? I don't know anything about merchant services. Are they actually selling it?
Well, the underlying word there is selling. No, we're not asking you to become a salesperson. If you want to become a salesperson, we've got programs for that as well. But a referral partner is just that. We're asking you to connect us with people that'll see us because of your recommendation. Basically, we will teach you how to dangle that carrot in front of them. It comes down to just a couple few sentences.
Hmm.
I even have people that walk into places, or if they get their hair cut or something like that, they thank the person for paying their credit card fees. The person
Oh,
kind of
that's
looks at
good.
them like, what are you talking about? Oh, well, you're still paying fees. A lot of people don't. I know guys that help people eliminate that. If you'd like to get it connected, I'd happy to connect you.
I
That's
love it.
it.
So
That's it.
that's fantastic. So we're actually like helping those businesses, right?
Technically, we're client advocates. We're going in there and helping a business owner understand that they no longer have to pay the fees. And those fees that they're paying are usually represent one of the top five costs in their business. So imagine this, if a referring partner has the ability to go out to their community and introduce them to people that can help them increase their bottom line by eliminating a significant cost, that relationship that that person has with that person they're referring probably will be strengthened. Um, who knows? It could be as simple as your landscaper comes in, sends you a bill, you get them connected with us. We eliminate a $5,000 a month cost to them. Maybe they'll give you a discount on your grass cutting. Who knows?
Yeah, that's great. So who makes a really good referral partner then? Like somebody who's watching this, they're asking like, gosh, I don't know, is that could I be that person? What makes somebody a good referral partner?
I'd say you'd have, they break down in kind of categories. The tier ones that are professional referrals are the ones that actually uncover the problems that people have or actually create those problems. So that would be the accountants, the lawyers, the business advisors, bookkeepers, all that kind of stuff. But other good ones are the other ones that just have a community that they're in, whether it could be a stay-at-home mom, it could be a person in corporate America or whatever the case may be. You're using your cards every day. You engage with business owners every single day, and they all are taking payments. So this is one way to put it is to monetize your Rolodex,
Oh,
monetize your contacts in your phone. We're all going out there and getting our haircut. We're getting our nails done. Well, I don't get my nails done, but not yet, not lately. Um, but we all have, landscapers. We've got plumbers. We've got, movers. It just goes on and on and on. All those people are prospects for them. We can help all of them, and at the same time, our referring partners can help their community, especially in the local business market. We're not talking about Verizon. I'm sitting out in front of a place. Verizon, Jersey Mike's, Starbucks, Chipotle. Those aren't the people that we're looking to meet. But there's a little smoke shop that's right there. That would be a person that we'd want to meet. There's a barber right there. That's the person we want to meet. And we can help them keep their doors open. And
mm.
you can be an impact in your community.
I love it. I love that word impact too. So, Paul, I want to ask this next question to you because I know this is something that you're super excited about. Explain, Paul, can you talk a little bit about what we do as a company and about how we give back to the communities and the nonprofits that we work with?
Absolutely, absolutely. It all started about 25 years ago. I had a friend that owned a swim school, and he was looking for credit card process, and of course I set him up. Well, he introduced me to a software company that was writing programming, obviously many years ago, was writing software for swim schools. And I got together with them, and actually we embedded our processing in with their swim school software. And the president of the United States Swim School Association was also my friend that owned the pool. He recommended that we donate back to the association, and we kind of discussed it. And we came up with a plan that if we went right to him in every school that he got to sign up, the United States Swim School would make 25% of the residual income for life.
Mm.
So I would get customers, just free customers, one after the other, all swim schools. And swim schools are big customers. I mean, they're not, doing a couple thousand a month. They're doing hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. So that's kind of how I came up with the idea to donate back. And then that just turned into my church. I signed up my local church for donations. It's a school, the bookstore. And what I was doing is every time someone swiped a card at any of those facilities that the church has, I was giving 25% back to the church. Well, that just can spin into anything. I mean, we can do, John, we have lists, we have chambers we work with, associations we work with. I'm sure, John, you have a couple you can throw in there, but
Yeah.
it's a it's a great way to get business for free. Another quick story I want to share to kind of tee off of John's referral program. We set up I think it's an esthetician locally, and she's in a beauty mall, and there must be, 100 people in this beauty mall. So not only did we sign her up to get her business, John referred her into a referring partner just in that beauty mall. We're going to offer her 25%. So now we have a salesman in that beauty mall who's probably going to get, she's doing it so she can show how it works for her and for her business and how the customers aren't complaining. She can offer that to all the customers, all the people that have shops there, and make a residual income herself. And one other thing is we also thought about maybe taking 10% of that profit too and putting it in a fund for everybody in the salon. Let's say, every month we donate 10% of our residual income. Maybe by the end of the year, there's $10,000 in that fund. Have a Christmas party. Donate that money back to all the barbers or the people. Or what I came up with is, why don't we start an insurance policy or some kind of policy, so if one of the technicians or the salon people can't go to work for a month because she had a baby or something, we can pay her out of that income that we make from everybody's processing. So you can really spin this into not only you saving the businesses money, but you're helping out everybody. That John used the word community, helping out everybody around you. So I love to share anytime anyone wants to chat about the association donation program, I call, I'd love to talk about it. But that's kind of how that whole thing came about. And, I've been doing it ever since the Swim School Association.
That's fantastic. I love it. I love it. Just, I mean, how many businesses do you work with, that a business works with that they're actually giving away part of their profits, to nonprofits and organizations and things that business is passionate about. I absolutely love it. That's a great segue also too. Let's get down to some of the brass tacks, and I'm going to share a couple stories because we've just had a couple wins. We just sent out checks a couple weeks ago from our last month, and I want to talk a little bit about referral partners and how much they can actually make, because that's really what a big question when somebody's looking at a side hustle or looking for a way to make some extra money. They've got a challenge, right? They've got a why. They need to help make that car payment. They need to make ends meet. Maybe they just need to make a little bit of money to, because they want to feel like they're contributing to the house, or maybe they actually are just tired of their job and they're looking for something that can start part-time that might maybe be able to grow into something full-time. And we actually cut a check last month to a first-time referral partner. She'd referred us to a dance studio, and her very first check last month was $81. And that may not seem like a lot of money, but it's one account. It's $81 and it's going to be $81, at least $81 or around that next month and the month after and the month after. And she's super, super excited. And she's like, oh my gosh, if this worked with one, I've got other people that I know that I could introduce to. And she gets it because she saw that it worked. And all she did was literally just make an introduction. She had a friend that was starting that was buying an existing dance studio, and she was looking to make changes of how they were taking payments. And she's like, "You've got to talk to Roger and Amy." And boom, couple phone calls. Couple days later, boom, we had her up and going. Got her a free terminal. She's got free credit card processing. She's in no long-term contracts, anything like that, and she's saving money. And our referral partner, got her first check. So that's really cool. And then another one that I had, and it's somebody that's in actually, she's in this group, and somebody who's actually in this group, and we just had a phone call with her yesterday. Now we talked to her first time about being a referral partner back in April of this year, and really didn't think anything of it, and anything had come of it. And she ended up on our calendar yesterday, and it ended up being a referral. Like she wasn't just wanting to like know more information about being a referral partner. She was bringing us a company, and this company does around $4 million a year. And at the end of it, going through everything, she stopped and she's like, so I'm going to get a referral on this, right? And we're like, absolutely, you are. You brought us this business. Let's talk about how much that is on $4 million, based on, so it's kind of seasonal, but she's going to average anywhere from between, during the slow season, she's going to average we figured around like $400 a month up to the busy season, where she's going to be making almost 800 to almost $1,000 a month off of just one client she bought us. Like that's amazing, isn't it?
Fantastic.
Yeah. So, but I know Paul, you've been doing this for a while. You've got a couple referral partners that you've been writing checks to a long time. You want to share a couple stories about some referral partners and how much money they make, just to share with everybody who's watching?
We're right back at the United States Swim School Association. I mean, again, those were big dollar accounts. They were making, boy, tens and hundreds, almost $100,000 a month at their peak. Unfortunately, I don't want to ruin the story, but a processor bought the swimwear software company, so I got kind of cut out of that deal. But, just kind of like you said, Roger, that $81 turns into $100 the following month, and it just picks up and picks up. So, another good referral partner I had was community banks. I mean, community banks don't even think about merchant services. So we can offer, I had Irwin Union Bank probably had 30 plus branches. I also had one called Sunrise Bank. Unfortunately, those banks are no longer around, but they were fantastic referring partners because, they were getting stickiness. It's all about stickiness. And, they get their checking account, get something else, and then I would come in and get their credit card processing and it would really stick.
Hmm.
So that's some real good success stories I've had with referral partners.
What about Paul? Didn't you have a guy that was in construction, just started off as one of your customers and then turned into a referral partner? And is that's Roger, isn't it?
That's right. Thank you for that, Roger. That's a perfect segue. Yeah, I bought a new house and it came with a casita and it needed some work done. So I hired a local GC. His name was Roger. We actually became real good friends. And of course, everyone always asks me what I'm doing because I'm always at the house and in shorts and having a good time. And I told them merchant services. Well, he said, what is merchant services, of course? And he said, well, I never take credit cards. I have to pay the fees. I would never take a credit card because his average ticket was 20,000. He might have a $500,000 remodel and he's taking deposits and whatnot. And that's a big hit when you're paying $20,000 for a credit card fee. So he started off with his cabinet maker, and his cabinet maker ended up with 6 locations. And it went from his cabinet maker to his door guy, and then the door guy referred him to a plumber, and then it's just kind of spiraled from there. So every single subcontractor that he works with is now processing through him. And he's starting to get more and more bigger company like this cabinet company. It's about a $4,000 residual check for him every month. And that's just one simple referral. And then he walked into a tile place. You remember that, John? It was a big tile store. And I can't remember the volume. It was tens of millions of dollars a month. And
Yeah.
we're working on that account for him with another partner we have. And I don't know, John, those residuals are going to be hundreds
Uh,
of thousands of dollars a month just for that one account.
yeah,
Right.
it's
And
hard to calculate.
what did Roger do for those residuals? What was his responsibility in this in this whole thing?
Boy, you're teeing me up perfect like I'm on the first tee here, Roger. He actually sent me, took a picture of his buddy's business card that worked there. Simple as that. Took a picture of the business card, texted it to me, and he said, "Hey, give this guy a call." I spoke to him. He turned me on to his boss. So he looked like a champ, the first guy, and he presented to his boss. So his boss went to the main guy, and he looked great to them. And then John stepped in, and this is bigger ones like this are not signed up one stop. I mean, this is a
Right.
long process. I mean, how many locations, John? 20 plus locations.
Yeah, they got 30 locations in 16 states, something like that.
Mm.
So, there's different terminals and
A lot
different
of
that.
moving
So it's
pieces
going to
that
take a
one.
long time, but again, this could turn out to be, he could be making at least six figures a month on just that one account. So, and
He could
again, like I
retire.
said, I could go on with stories about this all day long. I mean, there's just
Yeah.
anybody from the gal, the esthetician to my contractor. So anybody's a good referral partner because everybody knows 5 or 10 business owners. So that's always a good way to start.
Okay, so let's just take this last one that you guys are working on out of the equation for Roger. So I know he's referred you guys several clients. Basically, like you said, here's a picture of a business card. I talked to this guy. I told him a little bit about what you guys do. I know you could save him money. Give him a call, and you guys have done that several times. How much did you send Roger last month? About approximately. What was his approximate residual? John, you might know that better than Paul, but
Actually, again, without even this particular opportunity, we haven't closed this opportunity yet, but Roger's check last month was 7,500. And again, this is probably for 4 or 5 accounts. I mean, he's not out getting he's getting big accounts. Like
$7,500 a month,
a
every
month,
month.
A month.
every month. And it's been going on. I've been at this house for 3 years. And again, his first referral was the door company, and it was about $800, which is great. And all of
Yeah.
a sudden he hit this cabinet company, it quadrupled, and then it just kind of spiraled for him. And he'll give me a call about every 2 months saying, this is the last month I'm going to become a GC because your business is much easier. I make more just opening my, opening my bank account on the 20th of the month and seeing how much you sent me than he is actually being a GC. So one of these days he's going to quit. The building business is kind of crazy in Arizona, so it might not be for a while, but one of these years he's going to quit and come full time with us.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. So literally not did anything but just made a couple introductions, and it's basically like what we say, they just threw it over the fence. We caught it, we made the phone calls, has got them all set up and business closed, and every single month Roger's getting a check for $7,500 for just making an introduction. That's crazy. John, what do you see? Like, let's go to you because I know you got a couple referral stories, but kind of segueing into that, what do you like? Because you always you've used the story with me a couple times. It's like you never know who knows who somebody knows, and so we have a list, right? We kind of get their creative juices flowing. We've got our target list and all of a sudden it starts popping off light bulbs like, oh my gosh, I know somebody that does this. I know somebody does this. I know somebody that like all of a sudden, you find out like this, like Susie down the street, little homemaker, she's got an uncle that loves her to death that owns 3 car dealerships, right? I mean, how often do we walk into situations where like that?
You never know. I mean, it's just to give you a couple of ideas. One of our restaurateurs is a big referral partner of ours. At one point, we were sending him over $8,000 a month, and that was 4 referrals. Plus, he's a client of ours, so we eliminated a bunch of costs for him, and he turned into a referral partner. Got another guy that became a referral partner, and he does phone systems for businesses and that kind of stuff. He actually referred us to a father son ISO
Mm.
team that's was kind of one of our competitors. and really technically worked for one of our competitors, what's called a super ISO. And I got a conversation going with them. They have since come on board, and those guys have done now over 100 new clients with us in the last 6 months. So these were people in our industry that were selling what we, do what we do, working for another company, but because of what we could bring to the table from them, from an independent standpoint, from a payout standpoint, from really an education standpoint, taking their business to a whole nother level, really being more consultants with them, there's exploded. That referring partner makes an override on everything we pay those guys. So basically, he's almost like a sales manager without having to manage anything. Um, the other thing is one of the things that actually happened to me last night. I walked into a lens crafters because I need some new glasses, and I'm sitting there talking with the guy. He goes, "Well," I was like, "Yeah, can you give me a couple of quotes?" And I gave him my email address, and he said, "MB card." He said, "What is that?" And we started talking about it. He goes, I started in that industry right out of college in 2006. I was like, "Yeah, what were you doing?" He goes, "We were selling and leasing equipment." And I said, "Yeah, you were making big pops on that equipment, weren't you?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "As a matter of fact, I still get some residuals from some of those places, but they're small. They're very small." He didn't know what dual pricing was. He didn't know what cash discount is. He didn't know what we know now and what you can do now and how much money we could save these clients. More importantly, he didn't know that the residuals have gone up tenfold. So our conversation got very quickly over him selling me a pair of glasses to talking about three other businesses that were in that mall that he knew the owners to, his wife that owns a business, him becoming a referral partner and figuring out a way to get out of corporate America. I said, "Why are you working here?" I said, I bet I can tell you why you're working here. I said, "Your wife owns her own business, right?" "Yep." "You're working here for the health insurance, aren't you?" He goes, "Yep." I was like, "Well, if we could triple your income, you don't need to worry about that, do you?
Mm.
Just keep throwing them over the fence. It won't take long. You already know that, you
That's
know."
fantastic.
He asked me to have a cup of coffee.
Love it.
So,
I
yeah.
love it. I
And
love it. All right, we're coming down on time here, so I want to get some final thoughts. But before I do, I want to ask my bride, and I'm looking at the camera, but I'm looking at her because she's right over here, and I just wanted to get her to chime in a little bit. And because when we got going in this, we didn't know anything about merchant services. I mean, the learning curve, like, so, I mean,
Yeah.
could you kind of explain, when we first got started, how much what we did and how much we leaned on John,
John,
really?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, we leaned quite a bit on John. That was one of those things that was somebody that we knew that had the information and we needed the information. So basically setting up weekly calls, plus all the texting and everything else, getting questions asked. But yeah, we knew nothing about the merchant service industry by any means of,
Yeah.
yeah, debit card, that was about it.
Yeah, it was this whole mentor mentor selling thing, right? I mean, it was, he was there on
Mhm.
every step of the way. It was we were never on our alone on our own. So it was fantastic. Lots of knowledge
still
there
is.
and lots of great help. So
One
just
other thing real quick, Roger,
yeah, go ahead.
this, you don't need a law degree or, you don't have to be a rocket scientist, as they say, to do this industry. It's very simple. It's a simple contract. I've got a lot of real estate agents working with me. Their contracts are pages and pages and pages. This is a quick DocuSign. Like you mentioned, you can get out at any time. We're not selling anything. We're giving you free processing. We're giving you free terminals. And, when it boils right down to it, the questions always are, how much are you going to save me? And, back in the day, it was like, a couple of bucks. Now it's 100% of your processing. And when are my funds going to get in the bank? And, we can say instantly these days. So I don't want people to get too discouraged if they think it's a big, huge learning curve, because after they watch our training videos and talk to John and myself and Roger and Amy, you'll have this down in no time.
Mhm. That's great. That's great. Thanks, Paul. I mean, and John, I'm going to kick it to you for kind of final thoughts because I know that over the last several years, you guys have literally taken, I think that you're at about 350 people that you've taken through this process. So I wanted you to kind of like, what would you say to somebody who's watching? Maybe they're a stay-at-home mom, maybe they're a nurse that's looking for a side hustle, or there's someone that's just like looking to get out of what they're doing. What in training, I've learned that people want to know three things. They want to know, number one, will it work? Number two, will it work for me? And number three, will you help me? So, kind of tying into that and what you've known about going through this process with 350 other people that you brought on, what would you say to somebody that's looking at this that would make them successful in becoming and getting started as a referral partner?
Somebody asked me the other day, they said, what do you really do? I said, basically, I've been in sales and helping people build sales organizations for 40 years. So with that, we teach people how to do it. And the way you do that, especially in the independent world, we start off meeting you where you're at. If you're a soccer mom and you have absolutely no time, you're lucky to get 6 hours of sleep. And I know how hard it is to do that role. I wasn't a soccer mom, but I was a soccer coach and also was a single dad for quite some time. I get it. But if I could take a little bit of my knowledge and a little of the people I know and be able to throw it over the fence and make some more money for my family and my kids, that would be great. But how do I do it? How do I start? And that's really where the mentorship that you were talking about comes in, Roger. We're willing to have meetings with our referral partners on a one-to-one or group basis, all the way up to our top salespeople on a one-to-one to group basis. If our referring partners want to sit in on some sales calls on a Zoom or something like that to learn more about what we're doing, great. If they never want to talk to us again and just want to text us leads, great. Whatever works, whatever's best for you. At the end, in the beginning, it's always the same thing, whether it's a referral partner or a person managing a whole sales force. Where do I start? And that's really where we specialize. We meet you where you are. We find out what's going on in your life, what's important to you, what's not important to you, and how much time and effort do you want to put into this? How much knowledge do you want to have? And that's where we take you. I have a tendency to push people a little bit farther, but that's the coach and the trainer in me. But at the same time, if we can help, as an example, a soccer mom that is involved or a baseball, team mom or something like that, that has all these connections, all these business owners whose kids are on the same team, and all these other women and men that they're connected with that are all business owners, they could help all of them and just do some introductions and then move on with their day, getting all the cut up oranges ready for halftime or whatever it is. um, Everybody wins because at the end of the day, we're here to help businesses in the community eliminate a significant cost out of their business, sometimes helping them keep their doors open.
Mhm.
you know at the same time, those people that save that money, that business owner that saves the money, they're going to be able to inject that money back into the community or into their family or whatever the case may be. And then what we're doing is sharing the wealth back with that referring partner that they can then go support the community even more. So, and Amy was talking about it on our last call about a win-win-win scenario. These are true win-win-win scenarios. What's different here is most referral partnership setups, you get involved, you sign up and all that kind of stuff, and it goes dead. You don't hear anything more. From us, we're going to meet you where you are. We're going to teach you what to say, how to say it. And if you have a list of people you want to go talk to, we'll look at every single one of them and give you suggestions on what to say on each one if you want.
Yeah.
Just depends on how far you want to go. Again, meeting you where you're at.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. All right, well, that's our time, guys. I appreciate you taking some time on a Saturday to jump on a call with me. Those of you guys who are watching, I really hope this has been valuable for you. If you've got questions, just leave a comment wherever you're seeing this video. If you're seeing it on YouTube, if you're seeing it on Facebook, anywhere else, just leave a comment and ask some questions and reach out to us and ask how you can get started, because we're really passionate about this. We're really passionate about helping people. I know that this is an opportunity that I really wish we would have found when
Decades ago.
when we were younger, with in our early 20s with 4 kids, just scrambling trying to find some kind of side hustle to be able to just keep Amy at home, to keep to keep us on track and to achieve our goals. So if that's you and you've got some questions, reach out. We'd be happy to talk to you guys, and until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Hi, guys.
Thanks, guys.